Hey, you've done all 10 tutorials. Those are the starters. Now we're going to learn how to make a few items by going and doing a couple of the lessons on Tinkercad. So we're on the same Learn screen. We clicked on the Learn, and we're now here where we saw our starters. We're going to click on Lessons. And that's going to bring us to several different lessons. Let's click on See All Lessons. Okay. And then we can see a lot of different lessons here. One of the ones we're going to do right now is we're going to do this Duffel Button. Okay, I don't really know what a Duffel Button is, but we're going to do a Duffel Button. So let's click on it. Now, I'm going to reset it so that I can do this again. Now, these are a little bit different than the tutorials since they give us different steps and different lessons. This one only has one lesson. Some of the others may have more than one lesson that we go through. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start this. It says Duffel Button, Start. We'll click Start. Now, just like before, it's going to give you the work plane. It's going to give you instructions on the side. It's going to give you hint boxes on the work plane. So we go through it just like we did when we did a tutorial for the starters. We're going to read the side. It says, in this lesson, you will make a duffel button. Again, what a duffel button is, no clue, but we're going to make one anyway. This is similar to the basic button, but it uses a longer shape to create the button. All right, our instructions say drag a box shape to the work plane. Okay, there we go. We got a box. Okay, let's see. Let me zoom in on it, focus in on it. Let's get it all lined up. Now, I'm going to show you some things that these tutorials don't. Down here in the bottom corner where it says Snap Grid, this means that it will move a shape over by a very set distance each time. Here it's 1 millimeter. So in other words, I can move it 1 millimeter over, but I can't move it a half a millimeter. It's going to lock and snap to the 1 millimeter. This is great if you're trying to make sure things line up well every millimeter. But sometimes for these tutorials, it's really difficult to get things lined up. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go down to a half a millimeter. Once I do that, if you notice, I can move each half millimeter, 0.5
Mariah Hadfield,
and 1.
your ride is waiting for you at the front of the building. Mariah Hadfield to the front of the building.
Okay, sorry about that. We had announcements going on over there. Okay, so I changed my grid to 0.5 millimeters. It's going to help me out. So I've done the first step. It says drag a box shape to the work plane. It says scale it smaller to a height of 8 millimeters and a size of 8 millimeters by 20 millimeters. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means these distances that we have with those white boxes and the black boxes, we can actually do it to specific measurements. So let's zoom in on it. Okay, it says it wants a height of 8 millimeters. Now, if I click on the arrow on the top, if you notice, that's the one that brings us up and down. This white box here, I'm going to click on it. And if you notice, this little number thing pops up. It says 20 right now. That's 20 millimeters. We're going to want 8 millimeters. So I'm going to type in on my keyboard 8. Actually, let me select it. By clicking on it, type in 8. And I'm going to hit enter. It made it a lot shorter, which is exactly what it asked to do. Now, it says we want a size of 8 millimeters by 20. So I'm going to click on this white box here. You notice it's 20 by 20, but one of these directions we want 8 millimeters. I'm going to click on it, click 8, enter. Now we have a box that is 8 millimeters tall with a size of 8 millimeters by 20 millimeters. Okay, if you're here, perfect. If you need to actually go back and watch that again, please rewind me and do it again. All right. Now, the next instruction says drag a round roof shape to the work plane. So I'm going to go to the basic shapes over here. I'm going to scroll down. Here's a round roof. I'll bring it out, put it right there. Perfecto. This shape will be added to the end of the box shape. Scale it smaller to a height of 4 millimeters and a size of 8 by 8. So just like when we did our box, I'm going to click to the height and I'm going to change that to 4 millimeters and a size of 8 by 8. So I'm going to click this white box here, go here, 8, 8. Perfect. And it looks like it wants us to drag it up into here. So I'm going to push it right up into there. Now it's in our hint box. Okay, perfect. Click next. Rotate the shape and place it at the end of the box shape. Now, I can see there's a hint over here, but it's difficult to see. So I'm going to use my view cube and I'm going to rotate around. Hey, looky there. I can see where they want this round roof. The problem is they want it in a different direction. So we're going to need to use our rotate. Let's take a look at our, okay. We're going to need to rotate this first up on its end and then sideways. So I'm going to take a look at where it's going to be easiest to rotate. I'm going to rotate it this way. Oops, let me grab my handles here to 90 degrees. Okay, you can see we're kind of close. Okay, but we still need to rotate it a little differently. So I'm going to move around. I'm going to rotate it again. Come on, rotate. Hey, there we go. Again, you notice I'm using the view cube. I'm rotating around the screen here in order to see different angles, okay? And by doing that, I can get everything matched up. Okay, I'm gonna rotate. Oh, look what's way down there. We're gonna need to move it up some. Okay, I'm gonna focus in, zoom out a little bit. So I'm gonna get it really matched up. But again, you've noticed I've gotta change this view cube around so I can really get it lined up in that hint shape. There, perfect. And that's gonna take some trial and error for you, moving the view cube around and moving the shape around. Take your time and you'll get it. Now, we're gonna copy and paste the round roof shape so that it also fits on the other end of the box. Okay, and if you remember our copy and paste, I've selected it. I go up here to copy. And I'm gonna use my view cube to get around to where I need to paste it. Okay, and maybe zoom out a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna paste. Okay, it made our duplicate there. So I'm gonna pull it out. Whoops. Sometimes when you grab on the wrong thing, it doesn't like it. There we go. Found my shape. And I'm gonna put it right on the other one. Again, I'm gonna go around with my view cube. Make sure I get it in right. Perfect. Oops. Okay. So, looks like we've got everything in. Now, we're going to drag a cylinder to the work plane and set it to a hole. So, if I'm in my basic shapes, I'm going to grab a cylinder. And in this drop down, I'm going to set it to hole. So, it's a clear hole. Okay? You can tell that it's a hole. Nice hole. Okay, we're going to scale it to a size of 3 millimeters by 3 millimeters. Again, by using these white dots. 3, 3, 3. Now, it's a teeny tiny little hole, which I am going to focus in on. Okay? And actually, it just wanted 3 millimeter by 3 millimeter diameter. I'm going to change this back up to 10. I made a boo-boo. Oh, well. I'll fix it. Okay. And then we are going to rotate it. And it looks like we're going to put it where those orange hints are. So let's rotate it. Try to get it exactly at 90. But I'm going to do this by typing in negative 90. And then, again, I'm going to use my view cube to rotate it and put it in there. Now, it looks like I didn't make it big enough, so we're going to make that 20 down there. Okay, there we go. Now we can put it in there. And guess what? We're going to copy and paste it. So I'm going to go copy, paste. Now I've got another one, and I'm going to put it in the other hole there. I'm I'm going to rotate around. Look at here. Here's a problem. It looked really good from this side, right? But if I rotate here, you notice that my holes are up way too high. So I'm going to use this arrow and I'm going to lower them down until they fit. And then I can move everything around until they're in the right spot. Okay. And if you notice again, they keep wanting to snap and they don't really want to line up. So I'm going to come down to snap grid. I'm going to try to 0.25. See if we can help getting that lined up. Now I can move them into spots. Perfect. Okay. So now we've got our holes. They're lined up with our orange lines. It says select all the shapes and group them into a single object. Okay, I'm going to start shift clicking. Shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click. I should have actually 5 shapes. There we go. 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if shift clicking doesn't work and gets very confusing, you can also drag and select. You have 5 shapes. And let's group them. All right. So we group them and we've got a button that we made. Great job, everyone. Now, in order to get credit for this lesson, you're going to need to take a screenshot. I need to be able to see the holes, put it into the slideshow, and you're good to go. All right. Great job, guys.